Hello, everyone. Today I have a dear friend of mine I've been friends with for several years now, and I've also been in one of her coaching programs for I think going on 3 years. And she is here to share with you some really great encouragement on how we can, as moms, balance life, family life, personal life, and business in a life-giving way. So this is Mo Spell. Hi, Mo.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Amanda.
So glad to have you. So it's always so fun to have you on here. We've done a video before on, I think,
hmm
values, right? We talked about values
hmm
before. But today I wanted to talk with you because you're launching a new round of your coaching program. And
Yes.
I've found it so helpful in the last 3 years. Well, I've been in it for 3 years.
Oh, that's so good to
Um,
hear.
it seriously, like, I love it so much because it's very different from a lot of what I see for like mompreneurs, right? Um, and I think that I want to talk about that a little bit, like, and have you share kind of your heart behind it and what it is. But because basically for me, like, I've been in it for 3 years, I've learned so much. And like every time we like all the different things we've done in it, like even if we repeat like some content, I get something new out of it each time, which is
hmm
amazing.
hmm
So why don't you talk about that Mompreneur Lab, right?
Yes. So it started as the Mompreneur Lab. My heart has, I'm a mom of seven. Three are grown and out of the house. I still have four at home. And all throughout those years, I have had some sort of side hustle. And there were seasons where it was super hard. I suffered burnout, mom guilt, overwhelm. Ugh, it was just like there's those moments I just felt so alone and so defeated, though I had this like desire to serve with my business and care for my family well. And so after going through all that, I did not want other moms to um put aside what God put in their heart for a business or put aside some of their family stuff, like thinking they had to sacrifice one or the other. Because I believe if God has placed a business idea or a ministry idea or whatever in your on your heart and you have a family, they're not in competition with each other. They complement each other. And once I figured out how I was wearing a work hat and then a mom hat and trying to balance all the things because that's what made me just have all the guilt and all that stuff. But it was more like, this is my life. These two things come together. I get to integrate them together, show up because both are working together. And so that's what I help moms in business do. And it doesn't mean like moms, it's all stages. I have moms with little kids, grown kids, homeschooling kids. Some moms even join me after the kids have left the nest, but they still have that heart to show up well for their family. And so that's where the Mompreneur Lab was birthed. And now we've kind of like revamped it and now it's called Momentum. And so through that, my heart was to be a support for moms so that not only are they getting the knowledge, but they're getting the community, they're getting, for me as a mindset coach, that transformation where we're really identifying where we're getting in the way of some of the things in business and family. And so I integrated those into this group coaching experience.
I love that. And I think for me, one of the reasons I love how you mentioned like all the different spread of ages and stages of
Mhm.
life of the different women who are in it. And also, I think for me, as one of the people who's a mom of littles, right? I've got two living children, my fourth child on the way, and starting to homeschool, all the things, right? But also have a business and wanting to steward it well because it's something that the Lord's put on my heart and something that I love. But like you just said, like my family is my first ministry too. So like, how can we blend those? And to be working with someone who's still in the thick of it, you still have four kids at
Mhm.
home. So you know what it's like. Because I think one thing I've experienced with previous coaches I've worked with, business coaches, is a lot of times they either weren't moms or they were kind of out of the kids in home or kids needing hands-on help. Right. Their kids are in middle school and high school. Even if they were homeschooled, once they hit that stage, they don't really need as much hands-on from mom. Right. And so there was a lot more free time. And so there was a lot of that I observed as a like mom of like one child as a baby, them getting business coaching, working on building this business of like very hustly. And
Right.
it felt so overwhelming. And
Yes,
so,
because if we are running our business from home, which is different than if you have the opportunity to like go to work or go outside of the home, when we're running a business as from home, whether your kids are grown or not, like you're still seeing all the needs here at home. And when your kids are at home, there's those interruptions that will occur. And so it's we function differently. Our business, how we operate our business functions differently than if we could just shut the door, not see everything and go somewhere else and work and then come back and re-enter our home, right? And so having that understanding that we can run a business or a ministry and have our family right there in our space, but it's going to function differently than if we were to leave. And so we get to have those conversations because how I have my kids work at home while I'm working is going to be different than you because your kids are at different ages and stages. And so it's not a, I'm telling you how to do this. More, it's like I'm helping you figure out what your priorities are for the season, what your main things are for your business, how we can strip away the extras, the distractions, and just focus on exactly how you need to show up right now in your business, how you need to show up right now at home. And when you get those things into your time, that's when mom guilt goes away. That's when you're like, I am moving forward. I am having trajectory. I am having momentum.
yes. Oh, I love that. And I love what you're just saying about simplifying, right? We simplify our commitments because I think that's where a lot of overwhelm can come in is when moms try to do all the things.
Right.
It's like, we don't need to do all the things.
Yes.
But that it's not a formula of like, oh, do A, B, and C, here's what to do. Because that's, I think, where it can get frustrating as a client of a coach of going like, but that doesn't work for me in my season. Instead, you're meeting us where we are and helping us as a mindset coach work through and think outside the box. I think that's huge, like how to think outside the box, how to figure out what is going to work right now in this season, and learning also how to have grace for the season to know that it's just a season. It might be different in a month or even a week.
Yes.
Sometimes it changes week to week.
Which is why I incorporated the fact that this is a year-long group coaching experience, but it's based on seasons because how we operate in, like, for instance, the fall, my family operates totally different in the fall than we do in the winter, than we do in the spring, than we do in the summer. And my business also has different little seasons. And so with with Momentum, which is part of the Momprenuer Lab, with Momentum, we have specific focuses for the various seasons, but yet we have a foundation based on a self-paced course with key pillars so that we all are at the same foundation, but yet we can operate how we need to operate in each season. Like we have this opportunity to understand the variables that our family has during that season, our business has, and develop a specific plan for that season.
That's awesome. Okay, so you started touching on this already. So let's dig into a little bit of how this new season of Momentum is different than previous seasons. Because in previous years, seasons, quarters, year, pretty much this is the first time you're doing this with the year-long aspect. So previously it's been a 12-week, very clearly defined pacing with the course.
Correct.
For 12 weeks. So yeah,
in the past, how we've run Momentum, it was more like, Cycle 1, we went through all the 10 modules. Then you could join cycle 2, cycle 3, and it didn't matter because you always would have an up level. But this time, what I've noticed is that sometimes we don't need to structure our coaching straight to the course. There's other needs based on that season. And so I want us to be able to have the opportunity to explore what we need in those seasons without the confines of sticking straight to our course. So now the course is self-paced. You still have to check in. I'm still going to check in, make sure you're doing the work, because this is our foundation for momentum. And some of those topics are mompreneurs plan, mompreneurs have awareness, mompreneurs delegate, mompreneurs master money, mompreneurs know their offer, mompreneurs serve through selling. They elevate their message, strategically market, they know how to rest, and they know how to celebrate. These are going to be the core concepts that everything is built on. So the course is the common commonality that we're all going to have in this group, right? But then we get to now with the quarters. So for September until the end of the year, our focus is on how to finish well. How do we finish 2023 well and carry some momentum into 2024? And so with that, it's going to be, we get to revisit what goals that we've set up, what our priorities are, things strategy wise, like, do I even want to do anything for Black Friday or Cyber Monday or whatever all those things are, right? Like having some thinking through, what would finishing well look like for our business? What would finishing the year well look like personally? And what would finishing well look like for my family based on what I had hoped for at the beginning of the year or whatever? And so that is like the new opportunity here. You have access to a year-long group coaching experience.
That's awesome. So to clarify that, so there's weekly group coaching calls. So you have the self-paced course that obviously still need, like, you still need to be working through it because that's the foundation to have stuff to be, working through. But then there's a weekly group coaching calls where, and talk a little bit about how those run.
So the weekly group coaching calls are 60-minute. Sometimes we'll go over a little depending on what the topic is for the month. Zoom calls where we all get together. If you're working through the program and a question comes up, that's when you get to just say, hey, this is coming up. I don't know. I don't understand what my offer is. And then we can go through. Or if there'll be a little tiny training within the Zoom call or encouragement, but then it's actual coaching, like having conversations with me. It's not going to be you're always just listening. But the beauty of a group coaching is that usually when someone else is being coached, there are things you can glean from that will help you either personally or in your business.
For sure. That's awesome. And oftentimes, even if you show up to the group call and you're like, man, I think I'll just listen today. I don't have anything to say. No questions. I'm good. And then like in the encouragement, or you'll hear somebody else getting coached, and you're like, oh, wow, I do need help with something. And then you can raise your hand and be like,
yes.
There's time me next. And so that's awesome too. Because like, there's always something to kind of break through to get us to the next level. So that's awesome having that opportunity. And it's weekly, right? With monthly themes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Weekly with monthly or quarterly themes, and sprinkled in will probably be workshops as well, based on whatever I see the skill set or encouragement needs are.
Awesome. That's super exciting. That sounds really fun. Like, I'm so excited about the new version. Yay. All right. So that's it's kind of kicking off with the new quarter this upcoming week.
Yeah, we're starting in September, but this is a program where, like, say you're watching this recording later and you're like, oh no, it's past September 14th. Since it is a year-long program, you can hop in and you will not be behind. The course is self-paced, so you can do that at your own pace, but then you'll still be able to join us for our weekly group coaching calls. There is no behind here. You're welcome to join in as whenever you read this or listen to this. But yes, we are starting our first back from our summer. Our first call will be September 14th.
Awesome. That's super exciting. I love that shift too, of because it's self-paced, that like, it's not like, oh shoot, I missed the deadline. You can still jump in. And that's awesome. The only thing you'll miss is that the quarterly kind of like kickoff of a theme, basically.
Yes.
Which just jump in wherever we are.
Exactly. Right.
That's awesome. Yay. Okay. So how can people connect with you?
Well, I think the easiest way is my website, Maureen Spell, MaureenSpell.com. And I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram's Maureen Spell, and Facebook is probably Mo Spell. The other thing I wanted to bring up, though, is I also have a Facebook community called Grace-Based Business. And so you can connect with me there. And if you're like, I'm not quite sure if this is for me, I do have a training in there called Find Your Field. And field is an acronym. And I go through each one of those letters to help you build your business. So if you're like, I'm thinking about a business, or I have a business idea, Find Your Field has is a free training that I do in that Grace-Based Business Facebook group.
Awesome. Sweet. And we'll have all those links in the show notes. So you guys can just go down the description, whether you're on the podcast or YouTube, and it's going to be down there, and you can get the links and the links to the Mompreneur Lab. We have the direct link for that too. So if that's interesting, all the details are there in terms of how to sign up and all that.
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. Any like parting thoughts before we wrap up for today that you want to share?
I think the parting thought, the encouragement I would like to give is that if you have this like desire to serve through your business, and you also want to love your family well, you don't have to do it alone. Because sometimes motherhood can be lonely. Sometimes business can be lonely, but God's created us to need people, and he works through people. And it's not just me. Like the ladies in this community have blessed me and been a blessing in my own life. And so this is an opportunity to have community, have coaching, get some of the strategic training you might need for up-leveling your business, and up-leveling your faith, because I believe that God wants us to use our business to impact, not only just for business impact, but to impact others for his glory. And what an awesome tool our business can be in other people's lives. It is something that might make a bigger difference than you even realize. So that is my encouragement. You don't have to do business alone, and you don't have to do family alone.
That's awesome. I love that. And this is a fantastic community for getting that community so that you don't feel alone, because we're all like-minded in wanting to serve our families, wanting to serve our clients, wanting to serve each other, but ultimately wanting to honor the Lord. And that, I think, is such a unique combination. And I love that so much.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And I'm so glad you've been a part of it over these past few years.
Thank you. Thank you for creating this. It's been amazing. So I'm excited. And I hope those of you watching, if this sounds interesting, check it out. Check out the links. Feel free to message me directly too if you like want some more on the like, okay, you've been in this. Is it like I'm not an affiliate or anything. I'm not getting like a kickback for doing this. I'm doing this genuinely because I love Mo and I love you guys, and it's a really great opportunity. So feel free to kind of message me if you're skeptical and want like, more of the scoop. I'm more than happy to share more details too. So
I'm more than happy to meet with you too on a quick call to answer any questions.
Yes, that's awesome too. Yes, Mo has great calls, and you can do that through the website too, right? They can email you or ask for a consult to get some details. Awesome. Yay. All right. Well, thank you, Mo.
Thank you, Amanda.
Bye.